This is going to really get some realtors upset. My name's Jonathan Cabrera and I'm your local realtor, and this is Seller Wednesday. So I was reading an article the other day, and it was about how realtors, when they go on listing presentations, all they do is just brag about how good they are and how many sales they had and how good their company is. And I thought to myself, why not make a video to kind of give you, the seller, a different perspective on what you actually should be looking for, some questions that you should be asking your realtor who may be listing your home, because things have changed the way we used to, I guess, market is where I'm going with your home. Here's why I'm going to upset your current realtor, if not all realtors, and I might be condemned from the entire realtor association here in Westchester for this video. And the reason for that is because, I mean, let's be honest, right? Every realtor, no matter what company you work for, is going to do the same thing. They all do the same exact thing when it comes to listing your house. The difference, or what makes us different, out, right? Number one. And number two, they'll send emails to all the realtors they know saying, hey, I just listed this home. Come check it out as well. Maybe you have a buyer, bring them to it. It's a charming house. And number three, they also put it on the MLS, or the multiple listing service. That once it's on the MLS, it then goes to Zillow, it goes to Trulia, it goes to Redfin, it goes to Realtor.com. So, in fact, what did they do by just putting it on the MLS and sending out those postcards and sending it to the realtors? Their fingers and hope that somebody would come on by and buy the house. You don't need that. You don't need a realtor to just cross their fingers and hope to God that another realtor will bring the buyer, or if they go out and hey, they contact their buyers and say, hey, I just got a new listing, you should come check it out. That's just not gonna work, right? There's other things that need to happen. There's other marketing strategies that need to happen. That is the most important part about getting your house sold, is what the realtor does in terms of marketing your house. And in this day and age, the old way just isn't cutting it. The marketing as a whole, no matter what industry you're in, has changed because of the internet and because of social media. Primarily because of social media, right? Because when the internet came on, that's when we had things like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and those things like that, where people who may not even be using a realtor to purchase a home could just go on these sites and find the house that they might want to buy, right? But with social media, that kind of changed things, because now we can directly advertise to your potential buyer. So, along with that, the advertising directly to your potential buyer, there's things that us as realtors need to do with social media, right? There's things like Facebook Live, there's things like Instagram Live, there's Snapchat that we can use to now push the advertising of your home to these, to all of our followers, and then their followers, and then their followers, which is pretty much essentially almost free advertising, right? So here's an example. I list your home, right? I take the pictures, I run an ad on Facebook where I can directly target your potential buyer, and I'll get to how I can do that in just a second. And then what I can do is I can go on Facebook Live or both Instagram Live and say, hey, so I just listed this house, 123 Main Street. Let's go inside real quick and check it out. We'll do a quick walkthrough, right? Come on out, and then ask now, hey, does anybody know somebody who wants to buy this house or anybody looking to buy the house? You should come on by, contact me, let me know, and I'll be glad to show you around the house. And then they will now send that over to their followings and stuff like that. And it attracts more people to you, which in essence you can then promote the house as well. Here's a shameless plug. We have an algorithm that actually will tell us exactly what zip code, area code your potential buyer is going to come from. Not only can I take that information about the zip code and or area code, but now I can use that and make it more direct to the people who may potentially buy your house. You see, real estate agents or realtors, they do things like hire an advertising company, hire some kind of agency to do their marketing with Facebook and stuff like that. But the problem is they don't do the advertising direct to the consumer. And that's the problem. They just do a random advertisement which wastes a ton of money, and it's not direct. It's not an intentional advertising. So what you need is a realtor who understands this new age of marketing and how to target the exact or potential buyer for you. One of the questions you should ask once you go sit down with an agent in terms of listing your home or the potential of listing your home, what is your marketing strategy? How well do you know social media, or do you even use social media to market our house, right? And if they say, oh yeah, we do that, then maybe you should take a look at how they do it. If they say, oh, well, we have an agency that takes care of that, then you should run away and not use that agency or that realtor, because that agency is not going to directly and intentionally advertise to your prospective consumer. This is something to keep in mind when you go sit down with your potential listing realtor, because social media plays a huge role into how we sell your house. Hence the reason why I'm even making this video, because I'm going to use social media now to get to you and also get to buyers, because I also make another video for buyers, right? So I intentionally and purposely do things like this, and I will target potential sellers and also potential buyers using social media. Most realtors now are either scared of social media. Listen, realtors, I'm sorry, okay? I no harm against you guys, and maybe you guys will all hate me for saying this, but you guys are scared of social media, they're scared of the camera, they're scared to do things that I or agents like myself do, right? Because I'm not the only one that does it. There's other people who actually do videos and who understand the direct-to-consumer advertising in Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and things like that. So I don't want to just say that I'm the best one to do it or I know what I'm doing, because there's other agents that know how to do that. But it's important for you, the seller, to understand how the marketing is done now in this day and age, and how Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat and Twitter and things like that actually make, well, not make, but they're actually better for advertising outside of just having an open house or sending just listed cards or just putting your house on the MLS and kicking back and saying, all right, I'm just going to wait until, a buyer comes around. No. Doing things like social media actually make things a lot quicker and better to attract that buyer, because outside of those things that I just mentioned, these advertising are constant, right? So the potential buyer will see it today, that listing, they'll see it tomorrow, they'll see it at 8, they'll see it at 4, they'll see it at 5 o'clock, they'll see it the next day, and so on and so forth. So it's constantly in their face, in their face, in their face. So now, maybe they don't want to buy, but they know somebody who does, so what they'll do, they'll forward that over to somebody else. So you see where I'm going with this? Social media actually plays a huge role into the advertising for your home to be sold. So to wrap things up, is it important that just the agent has a ton of sales? Sure. Is it important that their company also is the #1 company in America or whatever? Sure. Fine. But those aren't the things that will make the sale of your home quicker, simpler, better, right? Those are some key things. The advertising is really what matters. And like I said, putting the listing on the MLS, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, putting the listing on those sites just aren't cutting it. Sending out those just listed cards just aren't cutting it. Holding an open house also just isn't cutting it. You need social media. So when you sit down with your listing agent, ask them, hey, so what's your marketing plan? Do you use social media? And if so, how do you use it? Right? And if their answer is no, then run. If their answer is yeah, we have an agency that takes care of that, then question the agency and how they do it. And if they say yeah, I do use it, then ask them how do you do it? What's the steps that you take in terms of marketing on social media? Ask them how it looks like. I'll show you how it looks like. The agent who knows how to do it, they'll show you how it looks like and what it's done, right? So keep that in mind when you go sit down tomorrow, next week, or the week after, or next month, or next year. Keep that in mind when you go sit down and interview a listing agent about what their marketing strategy is. Because that's, to me, and I think all agents will agree, that's the most important part about getting your house sold. So thank you guys for watching. Again, my name is Jonathan Cabrera. I'm your local realtor with Coldwell Banker. I am humbled that you spent about 5 or 10 minutes with me watching this video. I'm going to be doing more of these, so be on the lookout. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because I'm actually putting out a video for you guys once a week on Wednesdays. So thank you again for watching. I'm humbled that you do. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care, guys. And by the way, if you haven't seen my video last week, I'll put it somewhere in the video so you can see it. The video was about some key things to help you sell your home. So some changes that you could make and things to keep in mind when you are thinking about listing your house. So go check it out.